What up, y'all? Tina here. So we got some scooper news. Let's get into it. So Alex P over at the Cosmic Circus has dropped some potential rumors, and main thing I want to talk about is what he's theorizing about Black Panther. But first, Alex P, whoever he knew on that Loki set, told him everything. When Loki was out, me, him, and Geeky Cast, we was in this circle of news, and for the most part, we kind of knew what was going to happen in Loki. Now, Geeky Cast, I know him for years. We have a very toxic relationship. I don't think we like each other. But he know I be knowing stuff, and I know he be knowing stuff, so we still just deal with each other. He was the first person to report on Franklin Richards and also the potential villain in the Superman movie. But me and Geeky Cast, we have a love-hate relationship. It is a very complicated situation. I say that to say some of us know people on these projects. And when it comes to RyanCoogler's projects, I don't think Alice know what RyanCoogler got going on. And that's respectfully. Nate Moore don't even know what the heck Ryan has going on. And I've been telling people for the longest, Ryan is not talking to people at Marvel. So when I see Alex P saying that Black Panther 3 is potentially a horror supernatural film, I don't believe that. I don't. And let me tell you why I don't believe it. For the most part, Black Panther, Guardians, and Ant-Man, these projects have been able to exist by themselves. Now, I'm about to put my business hat on, and this is just common business sense. No matter how you feel about him, RyanCoogler made that studio $1 billion on his first outing in the MCU. He's been involved with every single Creed movie in some capacity, and they making bank over there. Mid-level movies eating at the box office. So when Chadwick passes away, he has made a big enough name for himself for that studio to allow him to make executive decisions. Now, if Black Panther 1 only made $300 million, and Coogler said, I can't continue because Chad passed away, they would have told him, okay, fine, we'll find a new director. You go on about your business. You can't do your job. But since RyanCoogler, no matter how you feel about him, on paper, he is a box office success. No matter how you feel about Wakanda Forever, he has not had a flop at the box office, point blank, period, the end. So they were not about to let him walk. And not to mention, he's probably underpaid based off of his output, okay? I say all that to say they trusted him to do Wakanda Forever in his vision. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that is the reality of the situation right now. Now, when we get to Black Panther 3, they still gonna let him rock out. He's still gonna be able to spread his wings. But they are not about to let him make a horror Black Panther movie. Nope, it makes zero sense. Because there's not $1 billion horror film. They don't exist. They don't exist because people don't like to watch horror films over and over and over again in theaters. That is also why a lot of horror films have low budgets. And if they take off, the studios be happy. You can make a horror film for like $5-10 million. And if that thing made 50 million, 70 million, 90 million, we good over here. So if we are following the story of Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2 with Toussaint, T'Challa's son, this is probably going to be a coming-of-age story about a young boy or a teenage boy becoming a man. That's not going to be a horror film. It makes zero sense narratively and fiscally. Now, you do have these one-off movies like Multiverse of Madness, which I think can slip into the horror thriller category, which almost hit $1 billion because people were going back to see Professor X, people like Wanda, people had theories. So that had folks going back to watch that movie multiple times, not to mention it's probably one of the most expensive Marvel movies of all time. But that's probably going to be the only movie that's close to hitting $1 billion that you might can put in the horror category. RyanCoogler is not about to do Sinners and turn right around and do a horror Black Panther movie. That makes no sense. He has a whole horror franchise with Warner Brothers to make all the scary movies he wants. He has a massive deal over there with Warner Brothers. Why would he make Black Panther 3 a horror movie when he could just tell that story over there with Warner Brothers? So respectfully, if RyanCoogler ain't talking to Nate Moore and Kevin Feige, I know he not talking to nobody running in the same circles as Alex P. It's just not happening. I don't know anything about the tone or vibe of Black Panther 3, but I do understand the movie business, and Marvel is not giving RyanCoogler $200 million to make a horror Black Panther film. That sounds outlandish. Even more proof on how crazy that sounds, and I know this for a fact, Blade wasn't even getting a $200 million budget because everybody in the movie business knows you can't give somebody $200 million to make a horror movie. It makes no sense. They was about to give Blade 100 to 150, which that's even high, but it makes sense because you really don't need a lot of money to make a vampire or a horror film. You just really don't. Now, if I'm wrong and Black Panther 3 comes out and it's a horror movie, I'll eat these words, but I just don't see it. It makes no sense. I've known people on Coogler's Productions for a long time. He films in the South. The entertainment business down here is very small. So if Black Panther 3 films in Atlanta again, which I think he might want to film in Atlanta, but I think Marvel's trying to get out of filming in the States because people be leaking stuff. But if Black Panther 3 films in Atlanta, I'll be one of the first people that can tell you what the movie is about because he used all the same people on all of his productions. Simple. Let me tell you a story. Charles Murphy, big scooper. He blocked me years ago because I said that Wakanda Forever was going to introduce T'Challa's son. He blocked me. But before all the scoopers got it, I'm like, y'all, we could marry. T'Challa gonna have a son. He blocked me. 2 months later, now he reported. I also was like, yo, Killmonger gonna come back, y'all. And Kevin Feige did the same thing that Nate Moore did. Oh, it's just rumors. There's no truth to that. Nate Moore just did that a couple weeks ago when everybody was saying, hey, we're hearing that there may be a Black Panther or T'Challa or something coming back. Nate Moore's like, oh, those are just rumors. We don't know nothing about that. Where y'all think these rumors be coming from? Now, don't get me wrong. Some people do be making things up. But when I tell you I've heard something, I've heard it from somebody either on production or somebody working directly at Marvel. Same thing with Coleman Domingo and Kang, X-Men 97, Blade. I just know people who be involved with these projects. And yo, I see why Jeff Snyder be snapping because these studios be trying to make that man seem like he crazy when he be getting the info and they be trying to play him because it's crazy when you know something and then the studios come out to try to make you seem like just this weirdo guy making up rumors. So I understand why he be snapping. I was telling folks a lot of stuff about X-Men 97 and people was telling me to shut up. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, all right, man, cool. I know the executive producer, but I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Now, when I don't know something, I just don't know. I don't know anything about Doomsday or Secret Wars except the Russos was looking for a Black Panther variant. I thought it was going to be T'Challa, but based off the concept art and that file name, it says T'Chanda, but I always heard folks was on the hunt for a Black Panther variant somewhere. And the only reason I know this information, especially because of with Damson, I can't tell you how I know about Damson. I can't tell you that. But with Boyega, he's very vocal. He be telling everybody everything. And how I know about David, I just know the person who asked him. I mean, it's just that very simple. I know somebody who asked David straight up. So, Black Panther 3, I don't think is a horror. We got to wait and see. Damson as Black Panther, I think he wants to work with Coogler. If he's going to be some sort of Black Panther, Coogler has to be involved. And he most likely wants a long-term deal. He wants to get paid. Why would he want to take a variant role for one movie? And this just speaks to the nature of how these actors are thinking and processing right now. If Kevin Feige walks up to Denzel Washington and says, hey, I want you to be in a Marvel movie, Denzel probably going to be like, hey, tell your people to call my people. We'll see how that thing work out. But when RyanCoogler walks up to Denzel and says, hey, I want you to be in Black Panther, Denzel is like, cool, let's go talk it over, nephew. So there's a lot of variables going on. So everybody don't know what everybody else is doing. And not to mention, these actors are not stupid. They're only taking pay cuts for passion projects. So somebody like Damson is going to want to make decisions that make sense for his career financially and long term. And I just keep saying, why would he be a variant? All in all, I personally feel like Damson would want to lean more so over in Coogler's production. And I also don't think Coogler is creating a horror movie for Black Panther 3. That's just crazy. But leave your comments below. Do you think Black Panther 3 is going to be a horror movie? Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.